Good morning and thanks for joining with me. The phone rang one day. It was a plummy voice, not local, I thought. And it said, is that the Rev Ian Miller? I looked in the mirror and assured him that it was. And he said, I'm commanded by Her Majesty to ask you if you would be willing to preach at Crathy Church on the 12th of August. For a moment I wondered if somebody was winding me up, but no, it was genuine. I did manage to stutter, why me? And the caller said, I really have no idea, but what he did say is that when Her Majesty comes to Scotland, she likes to meet ordinary clergymen. And I said, I guess on that criteria, I qualify, but my attempt at humour was way above his head. So it was that I did spend a weekend at Balmoral as a guest of the Queen. And I remember standing with my back to the window in the drawing room at Balmoral, and I felt like the wee lad who had been in trouble and was waiting for the headmaster to come and mete out punishment. But then the door opened and the Queen entered, and she looked up and she smiled. And I'll tell you, that smile would have lit the darkest room, and immediately I was at ease. Sit beside me, she said. And she produced a pack of cards and began to play patience and telling me it was to keep her brain active. Maybe we should all try it. So we talked. And she asked me what took me into the ministry. She asked me about the parish where I worked. And then there was a little bit of silence. And I found myself blurting out, Ma'am, I've often wondered why you come to Scotland for your holidays. And for a few seconds there was no reply. And I thought, I've said the wrong thing. I've put my foot in it, and it's a skill of mine. And then she turned and she looked up again and gave me that wonderful smile and just simply pointed towards the window and said, there's your answer. By this time her two granddaughters, Beatrice and Eugenie, had entered, and she involved them and said, tell the minister why we love it here. And they did. Their face lit up as they spoke to me about the love of Balmoral and of Scotland. What a privilege was mine to be part of their family for a week, to preach at Crathy Church, to dine with them, to chat about all sorts of subjects with the Duke, to be driven by the Queen to a barbecue and to watch her as she cleared up afterwards. And those thoughts and many more have come back to me over the last few days. She was special. When asked what she was really like, I actually replied, ordinary, but she was. Ordinary, but also extraordinary, with an incredible ability to make you feel special and feel at home. And now she's gone, and though she was 96, for me there is a wistful sadness, and I thought that something has changed. I suppose of late we've taken a bit of a battering as a country, and of course as individuals. COVID has played its part, not helped by the war in Ukraine, nor the fuel crisis, where for some this winter it may be a case of to eat or to heat. The crisis in the National Health Service, and indeed the lack of trust in many people of areas of life that we just took for granted. Things we trusted no longer seem the same. In short, the certainties of the past don't feel that certain anymore. And then the Queen, who was always there, ageless, almost eternal, trusted, and then suddenly and unexpectedly, she is gone. You know, I often think in situations like this, the Church does have something to say. But I regret that the Church often overcomplicates things that are simple. And I'm grateful Jesus kept it simple. He once said two things are important: love God and love your neighbour as yourself. And Jesus actually had a pretty wide idea of who our neighbour was. And then on another occasion he said, you should treat others as you yourself would like to be treated. actually to those very simple but profound ideas, I imagine Her Majesty's face would simply light up and we would be graced with that smile, a smile of complete and utter agreement. God bless you and thank you for listening to me today.